Our Liberian Rooster, one of four players. Our Liberian Rooster got one of four players. Our Liberian people beat you success. Our Liberian people beat you success. Our Liberian Rooster, one of four players. Yeah. Our Liberian Rooster got one of four players. Our Liberian Rooster, one of four players. Our Liberian Rooster got one of four players. The Liberian people beat you success. Our Liberian people beat you success. Our Liberian people beat you success. Our Liberian people beat you success. Wherever you play, wherever you go, the Liberian people beat you. Victory, victory, victory. That gave us the victory.
It's another Saturday and it's July 13, 2024. Good morning and welcome to another edition of Super Sports, where package presentation of all of the latest sports developments. As usual, Super Sports will this morning take you around the four corners of Liberia before sailing with you to the rest of Africa and then to the rest of the world. So if you can't beat the experience, just join in. My name is Koluba Azizi. I'm here with you this morning on the program Super Sports. Coming up on Super Sports this morning, the Big Six in the Liberia Basketball Association National League is continuing this weekend, where your team show bigness. Be at the SKD Gymnasium and see what your team is up for. The chase in the Liberia Kickball Federation National League continues this weekend with title chasers fighting relegation worry size. And can England end their search for a European Cup this weekend as they battle Spain in closing the Euro 2024? Hey, you fans of Spain and you fans of England, hats off to you, man. Also, coming up on the show, we will be discussing football and the situations affecting Liberia's smooth participation in international competitions. We will have the number one man in Liberian football, Mr. Mustafa Raji, sitting with us on the show. Please stick and stay with us on 99.9 FM and on our social media page. We are live on LNTV Liberia Live. You can join us and be a part of Super Sports this morning.
Number two money, baby. Number three money, baby. Number four money, baby.
OneXBet. Hey, sport fans, do you ever feel like an expert in your favorite sports? With OneXBet, you can turn your hobby into income. Everyone can make the correct match forecast and get extra money. Visit onexbet.com.lr today. Download the app and use promo code LiberiaX to get a 200% bonus up to 45,000 Liberian dollars. Express yourself. You are the expert. Play with OneXBet. Show your experience and win.
Welcome to Super Sports. If you are just joining us, and the program is here every Saturday, and like we said, we are anticipating to have Mr. Mustafa Raji in the studios to talk about some football developments, the LFA, and the rest of issues surrounding Liberia's participation in the international competition, the Lone Star. And once our guests in the studio, we get into our conversation. But let's look into the file and see what are those stories making the news. What a big sixth stage in the Liberia Basketball Association 2024 heat will continue Sunday at SKD Gymnasium here in Painesville. Mighty Barrow will battle title hope for Bushra Bulls in the day's closing fixture. Before that game, NPA Panthers will hustle Cestus Muggers in game 2. The Lilies will begin the actions when Hope's Angels tackle Desert Ladies in game 1, all happening right at the SKD Gymnasium. Hope you can be there. Well, a veteran Liberian sports administrator has described the entire sports budget under the Ministry of Youth and Sports as a shame and a mockery to sports development. The ministry's budget is over 7 million United States dollars, while 1,250 United States dollars is captured for basketball in the 2024 national budget of the ministry. Veteran sports administrator Boniface Satu told our sports desk that such amount within the budget is a slap in the face of the game. Well, the former IE and Lone Star basketball player noted that other sporting organizations also receive similar amount or less. Mr. Satu said, with such sports development could remain a major challenge for the government. He describes sports as an economic driving force for job creation and youth development. Well, less than 400,000 United States dollars is allocated in the fiscal year for sports. The Football Association is getting less than 200,000 of that money. While our friends are putting in millions, we put it in hundreds. Well, and we want a couple. We want a couple. We want a trophy. We get it better and say, yeah, the people that did that. Yeah, we'll get them. Well, the chase for the 2024 Liberia Kickball Federation National Championship title will intensify this weekend when title chasers face opponents who are fighting to survive relegation. One of the weekend's toughest fixture is the meeting between title chasing Axe-Sisters and relegation warriors CYE. The two bitter rivals will clash in today's last fixture, where Axe-Sisters will be hoping to collect all 3 points to mount more pressure on the league leaders, while CYE needed points to better their own chances of escaping relegation. Axe-Sisters are 5th place on the table, 9 points behind leaders Royal Sisters, while CYE who are facing relegation are seated 14th spot. Before that game, league leaders Royal Sisters will seek to extend their lead at top of the table by winning Bannerville Superstars, whom themselves are hungry for the points. God's Anointed, well, they will need some more anointing when they face Girls of Zion in another breathtaking fixture on a Saturday. And Sunday's biggest clash will be the battle between the two oldest kickball rivals when Aries tackle Amazon. Liberia's representative in the 2024 Helsinki Cup, the Black Men Warriors under 17, are into the finals. We say hats off to them, and they defeated LPS 4-1 in the quarterfinals and also grabbed a 4-0 win over Lupti in the semi-final as well. And they will be taking on the club from Brazil, Odin FC of Brazil, in the final. And that tournament, the Helsinki Cup, is taking place in Northern Europe, Finland, and we wish them well. Jonathan Freeman getting goals for Liberia, the under 17 national team captain, and the under 17 team of Black Men Warriors. They've scored 52 goals in 8 games and conceded just once. And under the guidance of the former Roots FC coach Gerard Julius. The Macerado County District Tournament. Wow, yesterday at the SKD it was entertaining. Despite the rain, well, spectators were there. I mean, I love the, argument. My district will be your district. Your district can make it, That argument was there yesterday, and I enjoyed it. But District 6 pulled a 2-0 victory over District number 4. And District number 3, they came with troops of supporters with high hope of beating District 5. But it did not go their way. They lost 3-0. Well, they said they will work harder and come back next time. There will be more district league going on today. And the LFA Beach Soccer Tournament is continuing tomorrow. 2 games will rock the PHP Park in Central Monrovia. New Generation Beach Soccer Club will chase Sinker Beach Soccer Club in game 1 before Bannerville Raiders chase Black Men Warriors Beach Soccer Club in game 2. And Black Men Warriors, wow, the guys are doing well. I don't even understand Black Men Warriors. They are putting a handball team together as well. And in the other parts of the world is Spain versus England in the Europe's 2024 final. Spain will be a man. Let England win something now. Hey, man. Let England win again tomorrow. Hey, Spain. England, let it take a cup. And Argentina and Colombia will be at each other's neck in the Copa America final as well. Those are the stories on our file, like we said, we will be having the big number one man in football as our studio guest to talk about football issues on the Super Sports this morning. And the LFA president, Mustafa Raji, has joined us in studio. It's my pleasing pleasure to welcome Mr. President. Good morning.
Okay. Good morning, Coluba, and good morning to the listening public. Again, it's a pleasure to be here this morning and at the service to football lovers, discuss football development in our country, and how we can all work together in moving football forward.
Well, he looks energetic. Why, you come to practice this morning?
Oh, not really. I'm energized. From the comments you made, the reportage in terms of what we've been doing as the Football Association. So I'm energized, at least providing details to the entire country where we're taking football in terms of our competitions.
Well, let's get it up now. Your off-season activity, what being done in the absence of the National League? I mean, maybe at the LFA headquarters or maybe at a particular center. What do you do? What are you doing currently? Why your technical people, arranging fixtures, arranging this, arranging what are you doing now?
Okay, thank you very much, Coluba. Before I proceed, I would like to officially present to you, because it's something that a lot of people apparently don't have this information. Something that we've shared in the Sport Writers Association chat room, all social media platforms of the LFA on to our stakeholders. And I think it's important, I believe it's important to also hand deliver a hard copy to you.
Yeah, you on camera.
Hard copy to you, evidence that we also engage in a lot of printings to send out to other entities. And this gave you a full detail in terms of the FIFA Forward program, what we benefit from FIFA, and how these funding are utilized and criteria that are set. I'm hoping that you can take your time at ELBC, go over it, and also explain to the general public to have a better understanding. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And
Okay. So as mentioned, on key football actors or processes, you must have a headquarter, technical center, and a stadium to operate. Today, I'm happy that we have the headquarter owned by the Football Association that we're operating from, and evidence about our works. Today, you can talk about not a beach soccer tournament, but a beach soccer league. First time in the history of our football, we took over and established an organized beach soccer league. And to just correct you, the team is Brownsville Warriors and not Barnesville Warriors. And you're now seeing the growth of many teams in many sectors and areas in football, from beach soccer to women's football at different levels, the upper, lower community leagues. At the regional level, in terms of the counties, today we can proudly state that we have the presence of women's football participation in Grand Bassa County, Monserrado County, Margibi County, Maryland, Grand Jide, River G County, Lofa, Nima counties, respectively. That shows in terms of our commitment to develop football and our promises made to stakeholders and citizens that in terms of developing football, this is the pathway we're going to take. So we are happy that we're increasing participation in women's football and women's involvement with football. On the other part, we're also looking at our grassroots competitions, U12, again, organized on our administration. A U15 league concluded, scouting now of these players, some of them to utilize the services for the under 17 WAFU qualifiers. The U12, U10 program currently at the Bluefield. Players in terms of the talents will also be scouted for the TDS program and taking them over to the Center of Excellence, the Technical Center, for 2 years training and development. Also at the Football Association, we are not just in the off season. Another great thing that I see that today, that the National Third Division playoffs moving forward, where all of the 15 counties, since we've took over, the 15 counties have been participating in the national playoffs, and football has been taking place in 15 counties of Liberia. Today, we can probably state that the playoffs are taking a different dimension, where teams are moving from one county to the other, play home and away. Kudos to the teams of the champions of River G and Fina FC and that of Paris FC of Grand Gide. There was a goalless draw in Grand Gide, and now the return matches in Grand Gide County on tomorrow, where the two teams will lock horns and to determine who comes out to the Big 8 qualifiers, meaning the interzonal competitions, the elimination series between the 4 football zones. So we spread over and working in direction of the 4 football zone in Liberia. And also we've launched again the continuation of the national district leagues. So the Montserrat edition is currently ongoing. And Koluba, I don't need to explain more. You've seen the turnout, the excitement, the competition between players representing the districts. And I mean, as we promised, we want football to touch each and every corner in our country. So looking at the districts you have, and you're seeing the displays of sense of belonging to this district, and everyone wants to win. But our goal is not just bring people together, but while they compete, we are also going towards other counties, introducing the district leagues and working with the county authorities to organize the district league in Grand Bassa County, Magibi County, Bon County, and Nimba County, respectively. And those champions, those districts that emerge as champions, will be representing the various counties in the National District League final. So the champion of Montserrat will be going against the champion of Nimba County in order to have that exchange and social cohesion, using football to bind our people together, but still spread the message and create a pathway for the counties to also identify players they can scout for the county meet. We believe a county like Nimba County, for example, with a population over 300,000, youthful population, I believe, greater than 50,000, there is a huge possibility that you have 30 talented players there, and there's no need to come to Monrovia or Montserrat to search for players. So we want to create this opportunity so that our county authorities can see and give more chance and opportunity to those that are in the county, the kids in the county, to play. And that's why we are pushing our football development programs all over Liberia to give each and every kid a chance to play football. One thing I'm also grateful about, taking into consideration all of our plannings from the beginning today, I can proudly say that, yes, we've achieved something, that national government, through Ministry of Youth and Sport, has seen our works and now decided to integrate women's football into national competition.
I welcome that. Okay.
It's a big achievement for us under our administration, because we started first a pilot project and organizing the first edition of the National County Sports Meet under the Ministry of Youth and Sports. But today, I'm happy, and kudos to the Minister of Sports, Councillor Cole, and his team for granting, access to women's football participation in the National County Sports Meets, evidenced by, the brilliant performances of our women's team. We saw the under 17 team, under 20 team, and our women's senior national team program. Kudos also to those who contribute and invest in women's football development in our country. The club presidents who are supporting women's football have been working very, very hard, bringing and increasing the competition and working with the Football Association to ensure that we sustain high performance and scout more talented players for our national teams or our leagues.
Okay, let's talk about the projects you spoke of some times ago. Where are we with them? Talking about turf here, this, there. How far?
Well, we are well on course. Unfortunately, because of the rains, the project in Nimba County could not start. The team came. Imagine the team arrived, paid rental for some of the facilities we'll be using, and due to the high downpour of rain, they suspended the project to commence in October. So what is happening now, FIFA, through the contractors, have shipped all of the materials for the gun package. And we're hoping that October the works can start and hopefully complete before April 2025. We also have the turf delivered at the Thomas F. Floyd Stadium in Sanikole.
Turf is already.
There's a turf there already. It's been there a couple of months. We're waiting on the team to come, and we are working with Mr. Thomas Senior, who openly volunteer to work with the Football Association under the Triple P to ensure that we turf the Sanico pitch. We've also completed the turfing of the Blue Field. We changed that, and that facility is dedicated for the use of our grassroots and youth football program. If you visit over the period, you see a U12, U10 boys and a couple of girls now undergoing training by our technical director and our technical consultant and the rest of the team of coaches to help develop and identify the best talents. We're also using that facility for our U17 national team program, scouting and elimination of players before going on to the technical center as part of the preparation for the WAFU zonal qualifiers. For the pitch in Brazil, we are now waiting feedback from Ministry of State as part of the condition to enter into the MOU, where they grant the facility to the Football Association for a minimum of 30 years lease. Once that is done, we will then go through the other processes of land authority validation, to conduct the geotechnical and topographic survey, and then going back to the executive committee for approval, and then sending forward to FIFA. Now, mind you, all of these projects, especially with the tough projects, we've asked FIFA to manage the tender and manage the entire contract process to ensure that we have a high level and transparency as we implement and deliver these projects for our country. A FIFA team will be arriving on Sunday.
Tomorrow Sunday?
Yes, they'll be arriving on Sunday to do the validation of the Willie D. Knuckles Sports pitch in Zuba Town, what we call the Alpha pitch. That is on one of our programs. So we have passed all of the documentation stage. Now FIFA will be sending again a team member to validate, confirm the space, and take all of the relevant data, and that will now trigger the tender. So we're hoping that the tender can be launched in August, and then the next process will be before the DEFCO, the Development Committee of FIFA review, and after that review, award of contract by FIFA, and then the release of the first payments. And mind you, these payments will not come from the LFA, just to educate those who are not aware, fully informed of the FIFA projects. All of these projects we've been undertaking, most of these projects we've been undertaking, we've ensured, our administration have ensured that FIFA take bulk of the responsibility to implement these projects. So it sometimes becomes laughable when people are making assumption and accusing one or two of us at the LFA of being involved in wrong deals. These projects, especially the turf projects and a couple of others, we usually request the services of FIFA to avoid and to also have a high level and transparency in all of the transactions that goes on. So again, that is it for the Willie D. Knuckles. But as part of taking the advantage, since the team member will be here, we're taking along to the Brazil pitch to also do validation and review of the location, so that once the Ministry of State completes the documentation, the MOU, we will now fast track the project process into going into the DEFCO and the tender for those projects. We are also on the upgrade of the technical center. We need to prepare for our TDS program. We're still reviewing the document. On yesterday, the chair of the committee, headed by the second vice president, Mr. Setai Dolo, confirmed that it's pending signatures from committee members, and then it goes on to the members of the executive committee for approval. Once approved, we'll notify all members of Labrador Football Association Congress, and then inform FIFA on the next steps. So there are a couple of other activities ongoing, and I'm happy that we are well on course, and we'll do our best to ensure that we deliver most of what we promise to our citizens in the country. So
while we're talking about the projects, let me hear from you. Sometimes we heard about you and contractors of the LFA headquarters. You have some legal issues. Where are we?
Certainly, the case is still in court. We've challenged the contractor. We've held the release of around 140,000 because we, as the FA, gave approval to FIFA to release those payments on the basis of missing items at the headquarters as per the BOQ and delay payments. So the case is in court. Once it's finalized and the ruling comes up, then we will proceed to the next steps.
So where are we with this price tag for the headquarters?
Well,
finally now, because I'm sure you got a report from
it cannot be final.
Okay,
and that's what a lot of people are missing. We hired an engineering firm because there was additional payments we made as the Football Association that was added on to the BOQ cost.
Okay,
totally 1.8 million. Okay. Kolba, I ask you a simple question. I hope you can be able to answer. So if you have a BOQ outlining a series of materials to be delivered at a building to have the final price. Let's say, for example, 10 basins, and the cost of 10 basins is summing up to the total price of a building. And after taking over the building, you have 5 basins. Can you now agree that the price will be 1.8 million, for example?
I mean, there are extra.
Okay, so unfortunately, you cannot answer.
Yeah.
So we have a situation where there are a lot of missing items, for example, at the headquarters. It's our responsibility because today I'm there, tomorrow I wouldn't be there. So it has to be reflected in documents that we've objected, that there's a missing water tower, value around 7,000, that need to be deducted from the overall cost. Okay. And if you deduct 7,000 from 1.8 million, it's said that it's not going to be 1.8 million. Yeah. If you also deduct a oil separation tank around 5,000 cheese, that is also not going to be 1.8 million. If you also deduct the cost charged against the Football Association for bituminous placement on the deck of the Football Association 2 slabs, certainly it's not going to be 1.8 million. So a lot of people who do not understand in terms of the contracts, and that's why I mentioned during our stakeholder engagement with you, the press. Why not visit? I haven't seen any one of you going to the Football Association, taking the BOQ, matching it against those items that should be delivered there, and then coming up with an independent opinion. But one is just coming up with, yes, the budget, the building is valuated at 1.8 million, but have you considered the deduction of those missing items? Would it be then 1.8 million? And this is a responsibility that's on you, the press. I'm again challenging ELBC. I hope your boss, Mr. Fagon, is listening. I'm hoping that you can take your television crew and then look at the BOQ and then point, because this building doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the Liberian people, and they have the right to also have a better understanding in terms of what has happened and what is happening there. But I'm proud that on our administration, we're able to construct it. And on our administration, we've stood to protect the interest of the Football Association and football lovers in the country, that we must have the full value of the money that we will spend, to anyone that will be doing work with the Football Association.
Well, we will take on our challenge. Very soon we'll be there. We'll have our drone at the
Thank you very much.
But not much being heard of the awards, 2023, 2024 LFA awards. Where are we? What's happening?
The team is working. The 2024 awards, we will announce it. So I don't think we've gone in 2025. So we'll be patient. The awards is on a yearly basis. So it's a 2024 awards program. So I can assure you that it's going to go on. And we're going to celebrate our players again, because Koluba, this is something that, I pictured when I was not at the Football Association, that those who play football, those who make the game beautiful, should be rewarded in the right way, in a very flamboyant way, to excite and to encourage most of them. Gone are the days that MVP will be taking $25. I thought that it was an insult to them, even though the administrations then didn't have the financial capacity. But I'm proud that we took over, and identifying those issues, we were able to partner with a sponsor with the willingness to support our drive. And I'm happy today that the MVP for male walks away with a car, MVP for female walks away with a car. At least the first division highest goal scorer walks away with not $25 in an envelope, but over 300,000 Liberian dollars. And we want to introduce more. We want to make it more exciting, because it's a way of motivating, encouraging our people to compete and to fight during the period of the season.
And you mentioned about partners. Where are we? Are you having new partners coming on ahead of your new league season, or Orange remains your partner?
Well, we are working and engaging a lot of companies. I stated a couple of months ago to members of the press, the stakeholders, that the contract with Orange will come to an end the 2023-2024 league season. We're engaging with Orange Liberia a company that have identified and worked with us over the period. We've also engaging with other companies in the mining areas outside and within Liberia to see how they can partner with us. We should also understand the situation in the economy. So we'll keep pushing and then see who we can bring on board to join hands with us to support football.
Well, let's talk about your relationship with your stakeholders. How is it? Some people say you are too strong. You control almost everything. Control the EC. When you tell them, hey, move, they don't move. It's trouble.
Well, I think it's unfortunate. I think it's unfortunate that one would say such. I mean, they are not in the executive committee meeting. So if one would say that I'm controlling the executive committee members, that would be sad. Members of the executive committee are responsible people, independent individuals working, some owners of companies, for example, Second Vice President Seta Adolo, Madam Judy Risito, Mrs. Professor Sekou Kone, a judge of the Labor Court, Judge Joseph Kole. I mean, I don't understand why will you be thinking that I will control independent-minded people. We submit proposals to the executive committee. Some are approved and some not approved. If others are out there assuming that we should be at the level of the executive committee, standing on top of the table and throwing punches, they won't get that from us. We are far more professional in terms of our works. Our work is to share ideas and see how we can develop football. I give you a typical example. My vision as president over the period, like I stated, I created this picture before coming over the Football Association. A lot of things you see are doing today is a picture that I drew way out a couple of years back, and that's what we're implementing today. And with the support of the executive committee who believe in the vision, and that's what we're following. Do you want to say it was wrong, for example, to establish the Community Women's League? We took over the Football Association meeting one division league that was in existence over the last 15 years, okay? So when I took over in 2018, the picture we created, people believe in the picture that there was a need to create what we call relegation and promotion. It enhances and improve competition to create and develop a pathway.
I mean, in a women's league.
In a women's league. So what did we do? The executive committee approved the establishment of a lower league. Was that wrong? The executive committee also approved the establishment of a community league. So you have now the community women's league, you have the lower women's league, the upper women's league. What we also been looking at of recent, I presented to the executive committee that gone are the days that we prioritize only the males. The males are getting all of the money. In the past, when we were not at the Football Association, the women's champions were getting around $300,000 champions. We decided and proposed to the executive committee that if the first division is getting $20,000, the women's division should get $20,000. Was that wrong? I believe if we had it in our envelope, it's another means of replacing some of the money that clubs will be spending over the period of the season. Now, the establishment of women's football in other parts of the counties. The executive committee approved that. Today we have women's football playing in Lofa, Nimba, Grange, River G, Maryland County, and the president of women's teams in Margibi and Grand Bassa County. Was the executive committee wrong for doing that? Were they controlled to do that? I believe no.
Are you accepting maybe suggestion from across the table and working on it in a part of your program?
Well, we've been very open. Okay. We've worked, for example, I'll give you another example. I proposed to members of the executive committee that the women's top team and the men's top team should be equal. So to change the nomenclature of the women's upper league to become first division and the women's lower league to become second division. In that way, the women clubs get more money, meaning if first division is getting $7,000 for sponsorship, the women should get $7,000 for sponsorship. If second division is getting $3,000 for sponsorship, the women's second division should get $3,000 for sponsorship. Now, my proposal was still in a way that to avoid one assuming that come elections want to increase the number, but that's how we should go to create the opportunity, create a balance. We need to synchronize our league system and structure. So that's the pathway. Now, some members of the executive committee embrace the idea, even though our proposal was to take effect in 2026. 2026 okay. Some executive committee was like, wow, this is a brilliant idea. Let us even bring it further to implement it during our next General Assembly in 2025. It went up to vote. The majority voted against 2025 and insisted that it should be 2026. Was that something wrong? So at the level of the executive committee, we discuss issues internally. We have our differences, but in the end, we win together because it's about football development. If you're saying People are now pushing that, okay, I control the executive committee. Well, I'm happy that I was able to control the executive committee to approve 6,000 annually to be given to clubs. I'm happy that I was able to push the executive committee and convince them to provide and waive registration fees that have been existing for years, that today the clubs will be playing in the league without paying registration fees. Okay. I'm happy that the executive committee also approved the cancellation of registration fee for all clubs playing in the country, and fourth division. I mean, don't you think I'll be excited? But they are not controlled because there are people who understand football development, who understand how we can support, relieve our clubs of the burden. I mean, I'm happy, Koluba, that the executive committee approved the introduction of a digitized system. Today, gone are the days where in the first, second, and top division league that now we're dealing with paper. We are now dealing with the LFA Connect system that we've rolled over to the 15 counties of Liberia, where now players are now registered. Today, the players that participated in the national third division playoffs all around the 15 counties are now participating in the LFA Connect, the competition management system.
Let me hold you there. Let me hold you there.
Because there's a whole lot.
Let me hold you.
I won't be able to finish all about. It's about this question is about coming over narrative to just praise ourselves and to tell you the commendable work that the executive committee of the football.
Okay, let me hold you there. Let's talk about the children put in your care. When I mean children put in your care, the various national teams, the Lone Star, are they going to have good life, or our focus should just be on the senior team in terms of having them regularly into international activities?
So, Koluba, I come from a background where I was engaged in a lot of planning, and today I'm proud that I was able to work with a company I joined in 2005, and with the team that I work with, we were able to make such a company number one in Liberia, Celcom Orange Telecommunications. It's with that strength that I also push towards football, looking at the picture that I created. I keep telling about the picture we created in terms of coming to the football, what we painted, and how we come into reality in football. So we started with the Mutamu Cup because we felt that football foundations from the grassroots. We started with the Mutamu Cup for U15. Teams came from all over, identifying with grassroots boys and girls, because that's the startup process to infuse and develop players into the national team. Not only at the top, you don't build from the top, you start building from the bottom. So we started with this process. And Koluba, maybe you're not informing the general public. Our program that we ran, headed by Coach Ansu Kira, kudos to him and his hard working team. So there's some of the players are now moving to Europe. That's where we want to see our players moving to, signing up with clubs in Europe, second division, whether it's third division, fourth division, then going to Indonesia and Malaysia. We've seen an exodus of these players participating, an increase of these players participating in our first division league, and they are topping and top performers. Sia, for example, top player, classic player from Watanga, all from our youth football program. So the youth football program is key to football development. And Koluba, I mean, we are a blessing to football. Today, I'm proud that our participation in football is not just circled in Liberia. Our involvement was taken away to CAF, to FIFA. And I'm proud that with the red, white, and blue, we were able to stand and present to FIFA to convince them that there was a need for them to change the World Cup for youth to every year. That is a proposal that came from Liberia, and FIFA embraced it. Over 180 countries supported it, and the next edition of the World Cup is going to be playing under 17 every year. So if we come back, what we are now doing, as I stated in the beginning, we're going with our U12, U15 program, because we have to produce U17 players every year.
So Liberia made that proposal?
Yes. I'm proud to say that, look, you know what? If we are overlooked in our country, we are respected in international football, and we continue to fly the flag and make those differences for us.
Do you have the commitment from the parents of the national team? I'm talking about the government, that look, all of the youth teams and all of the other teams will be in international competition?
I believe we'll have the commitment sometimes, but in the absence of this support, we cannot just sit down and fold our hands. So we've been there working. We started the process like we started with the women's football in the county meet. Others thought that was not important to put the women's in the county meet over that has been in existence over 50 years. We kept on doing it until this government realized that there was a need to put it there. So there will be a time. There's a time for everything. So we are going to continue pushing. We started with the women's program. never did we get support from any government relative to the youth national teams, for example, females specifically. Well, we participated in 4 international matches for the U17 and the U20 in Senegal. I mean, I can't say that we got it all, but I'm happy that the first step, the government over to come in and give us a little amount to address the expenses. So we receive around 86,500 from the Ministry of Finance through Youth and Sports towards our U17 women's program. The overall budget was 264,000. The LFA had to take responsibility of the additional cost. Those costs, I mean, from our FIFA for our program, but it's a way of working with government. We are hoping that they can take responsibility and assume overall responsibility for all the national teams, because we are there as the technical part team to develop the team for the country. But as it is now, we're not just going to sit, because we want to give opportunity to our girls and boys. Our boys are energized. We want to participate, and our committee at the level of CAF, okay, we've increased the number of teams for the under-17 African Cup of Nations to 16. 10 countries participating in that competition will go to the World Cup. The group of, there'll be four teams in each zone, group of 4, and we want our under-17 team to qualify. So we're not going to be waiting because we don't have money from government and we cannot put the little pieces. Now we're making sacrifices. Our coaches, I mean, kudos to the team. They have accepted to work under strenuous conditions, because the government is not giving us the money for the under-17, under-20 boys program. We have not received a penny for the under-17 and 20 boys program, but we want to move up to camp by the 17th of July. So these guys need to move to camp to be training. And I mean, Coach Latte has been very cooperative. This guy is just there willing to support, but he has a family. So we as the Football Association is taking that into consideration, see how we can find solutions. We're engaging with a lot of other companies outside while we look up to government to provide support for that.
And that brings me to the issue of, 150,000 as a contribution from government to your federation. They are all a federation crying.
Wait, look, Oliver, it's not to our federation. What I would just like to say, I mean, it's unfortunate. My apologies to my friends and my brothers, but it's a shame. It is a shame that we have the former president of the LFA, Mr. Musa Hassan Bility, at the house, and we are getting this amount for sports. It's a shame that we have a former president who is a senator at the parliament, Mr. Edwin Snow, that we are getting this amount for sports. Because, I mean, what energized me, what encouraged me to come over to the Football Association was a statement made by President Snow. I'll just let to remind him, if the government of Liberia can put a tax on petroleum product of 1 cent for sports, sports is going to develop. Today he's there. I'm still looking up to him to push that agenda, that 1 cent should be deducted on petroleum product to contribute to sports. If we cannot do on petroleum product, alcohol and cigarette is not a necessity. We can survive with alcohol and cigarettes. Increase the taxes, push some of those taxes towards sports development, not just football development, but push it. We want to see our lawmakers. You have Alex Jeneka Tyler, senator, also president of Mighty Barrow, over at the house. I mean, so I'm like, I'm just disappointed. I'm not happy that this issue is going around. People will be looking at the Ministry of Youth and Sports because they are connected to all of the sporting discipline. But imagine having over 34 sporting disciplines in our country, and you expect 150,000 to support football. No, it's not going to happen. So if anyone is dreaming that 150,000 will support our football program or sports in the country, then that means they're just telling us that they don't want us to win. I mean, we are faced with multiple of problems, from game bonuses, salaries of staff, and etc. In order for us to develop, if I'm giving you now a picture from the Football Association, what about athletics that is doing very well? What about basketball? What about volleyball? So this is a Liberia problem that we need to sit, and we are looking up to our lawmakers who are veteran sports administrators to sit down. I mean, during the election, I spoke to my brother and friend, Musa Hassan Bility. Is that Mustafa might get out of the house, football will get 5 million a year. 5 million a year. I'm quoting my brother and friend. Today, how much have we received? So he need to fight. It's upon him to make good his promise, work in the house to lobby for us, because, look, we will do our best as the Football Association. We'll run these programs. We'll make all of the planning. You can see, for those who cannot see well, we'll continue to provide these information to them to see it and identify and understand it. Mind you, Koluba, I mean, a country preparing for AFCON 2025. Why other countries are now preparing and pushing for training camps? We are still indebted to hotels and other individuals for matches played since March. We are still indebted to the national team coach who has threatened to terminate this contract.
And then a reporter he said he's not coming back.
He has threatened to resign because we cannot pay him. We cannot even finance the trainings of the national team, but yet still we want to be in Morocco 2025. Do you think that's possible? We also want to be in Morocco 2025, but the players who work hard, who played, against Sao Tome in Morocco, defeated Sao Tome, cannot even get the win bonuses. So where are we? Where are we? Come on. This is something that we have to look at as a country. If we want to advance in football, we need to invest money. If we do not want to invest money, come on, man. I will like to reference and quote a former Minister of Information: $5 cannot cook $5 cannot cook cabbage, man. Come on. I mean, it's something. Yes, it's something that we must be real about. Let us put aside our differences in political views, but let's focus on the issue. That there's a serious issue. We cannot just sit back and believe Liberia will qualify for AFCON 2025 when we all sit back and avoid providing fund. We've extended out Calabar, we fought, we've engaged, and nothing is happening. It's frustrating, and if we do not pay attention to this in time, Liberia will certainly not go to Morocco.
Well, shortly we'll take the lines, a few calls from the line, but with all of these challenges, why do you still want to be president for Tete?
I'm serving. It doesn't mean because Calabar Zeze, it's paid $100 a year BC per month, and he has a responsibility at home, and the owner of the house increased the rent to $2,000, so that means he's going to resign his job.
Hang on.
Okay, you have to hang on, be positive, have the vision that things will fix, and we continue to engage. We as leaders, you don't just give up so early. I don't give up. I'm very difficult to give up. We continue working and pushing and engaging our partners and our friends to continue to support our football program.
Okay, we can. I got a lot of other questions, but the time is actually running very fast.
I wish you could ask those questions.
Yeah,
I'm here to answer all of the questions.
This one, just before we go to the line, there are reports that clubs are asking the LFA that look, clubs also are Monserrado asking the LFA, say, look, LFA want to change our venue. All want to come live in Monrovia. Are you allowing that? Is it true?
Well, thank you very much. There are laws.
Okay.
Those laws are not made by me. For example, there must be a cost determined by the licensing body.
Okay.
An individual cannot just wake up and decide that they want to move from one venue to another. So we have a licensing body. For example, the club licensing team of CAF came to Liberia, identified that the stadium was not good. The stadium was banned, and it resulted into us selecting another home venue. So it's all dependent on the review of the licensing body to determine whether or not it is possible. Mind you, we have limited facilities in Monserrado County. And if you are saying a club want to leave from one location to another, why about a club leaving from Monserrado to go to Maryland? Because you don't open a Pandora box. It's something you have to be very careful about. So we have to take into consideration the licensing procedures.
The issue about decentralization.
Decentralization is a key, but you have to take into consideration the licensing procedure.
Okay.
So there are licensing procedures you need to follow. If you are moving to a location, it must be inspected and validated. If once it's validated by the team and approved by the executive committee, I have no power or authority to stop the movement of a team. All
right, he's the president of the Liberia Football Association and also an executive committee member of CAF, that's the Confederation of African Football. Mustafa Raji is here, and I think he gave us some other information that the executive committee has received. And 0880-514096, 0880-514096. Sorry, the orange line is off here, so you just use the 0880-514096, and you following on the social media, you can also use the line. The numbers are also right there.
1xBet. Hey, sport fans, do you ever feel like an expert in your favorite sports? With 1xBet, you can turn your hobby into income. Everyone can make the correct match forecast and get extra money. Visit 1xbet.com.lr today. Download the app and use promo code LiberiaX. Get a 200% bonus up to 45,000 Liberian dollars. Express yourself. You are the expert. Play with 1xBet. Show your experience and win.
Yes, and Momo Blamo organizing a tournament in Kakata, Magibi County. Momo, I hope I can get you on the line. Let's talk about it briefly, but let's take this call. Good morning. Good morning. morning. Ooh. What's going on with the line? Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Let me try this again. Good morning. Ooh. What's let me try this one. Good morning.
Yeah, how are you calling?
Ooh.
Am I live on the show?
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Yeah, am I live on the show?
We're live. We're live.
The thing is, so my name is Joshua Badio, and I joined the conversation from the densely populated township of West Point. Well, I'd like to begin by saying I'm extremely disappointed in the presentation made by the president of the football system. He did not tell specific issues, one, as it relates to the COVID form of FIFA. Two, there is a grave allegation of corruption scandal that hangs on the how you call it, Zero Combi, headed by Mustafa Raji. Three, when you ask him about the issue of opening the sponsorship for the last 8 years that Raji has presided, there is a single company of which he also a member of, who works with Orange and Orange has been the only company sponsoring the national league country. It's a contract interest, it's against our governing law that govern this country, and that will the football body.
Okay.
Lastly, let me conclude. Lastly.
Yeah, you gotta do quickly, man.
Yeah, lastly, we are calling on the elaborate people. He lays on him all that Mr. Raji has been at too many challenges. He has to provide solutions to what's solving the problem, right?
Okay. Let me talk to another caller, please. He's following. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let me hear you quickly.
And let me say good morning to your guest in the studio. My name is Gerald Tiesa. And I'm following your conversation religiously with our Prosecco. I have two quick concerns. My first concern has to do with the issue of the recent pronouncement by the FA president, Mr. Raji, as it relates to the donation made by Honorable Anthony Anthony Poole, to the PDC in the neighborhood of 5,000 US. They rejected that on ground that the money was getting money.
So what's the question now?
They didn't know the source of the money. So my concern is the money they accepted from Castel Poole for the changing of the name of the FC Canon to FC Fatia. They didn't know the source of that money, what they accepted money, what did they accept that money.
Okay. 088464419, because the other line in the studio is giving me a bit of difficulties, man. I don't know. It's not going through. 088464419. Good morning.
Good morning, Kwadiba. How are you?
Let's hear you quickly.
Okay, thank you. I'm monitoring the show, and I must admit that, it was good, it was bad. The fact that, that Nigeria as a nation will still be having a man like Mustafa Raji presiding over football in Nigeria.
Hello. We gotta be careful with our voice, please.
Let me just let my point. I got some issues I want to say. Please allow me to say something I want to say.
You got 10 seconds, quickly.
Okay, so like I was saying, if Liberia as a nation will have Mustafa Raji still presiding over football in Liberia, then it's an indication to say our country and nation will be.
Okay. The student line just not. I don't know what's the issue here with the student line, but Blamo. I expecting a call from Momo Blamo on 0886464419. Let's see if the guys can look at this. All right, Super Sports on the ELBC radio, and let me go to Mr. Raji. Yeah, but this is embarrassing with this.
Okay.
Line. Yeah.
So thank you, Koloba, and thanks to the callers. Brilliant points they raised. Unfortunately, me no disrespect to our caller who talked about COVID, but apparently he seemed not to be involved with football as a stakeholder. The COVID-19 funds provided by FIFA, and I can challenge him. I hope he can come with documents to the football to EOBC to provide one notice that the club complained about COVID relief funds. All of the clubs, even those not included directly, were benefited from the COVID relief fund. He mentioned about corruption. It is easy to state that one is corrupt, but coming out with such comment without facts, is unfortunate. And I'm hoping, and it's a challenge to him to come up and bring those documents. I don't want just people to be talking, but come out and bring those documents. It's a big challenge to each and every one of them who stand out there to pass through maybe someone else to talk. They need to come up themselves and come up to say it. The other caller who mentioned about Mr. Cole, unfortunately, I think they've gotten the information wrong. As a club owner, wherever you get your money from as a club owner, you are dealing with a club. As a football association, if you intend to come and make a donation, just to correct them again, at no point in time the Kasek Cole come to the LFA headquarters to make a donation. At no point in time. And I was very clear. If you had a donation to make to the football association and came to the football association to make that donation, I wouldn't accept it. Because this individual was jailed for his involvement in wire fraud, was in jail for 7 years, just came over to Liberia. I do not understand how he's getting his money, and I will not put myself in a position to take such money. If he decided to go and give it to the Ministry of Youth and Sports, who is the owner of the team, and they decide to accept it, I'm not the owner of the team. I will be submitting to the owner's decision. But I, as president of the Football Association, will not at any point in time accept such a donation directly from Mr. Kasek Cole. Unfortunately, this information that he's been parading around was wrong. He at no point in time came to the Football Association to make such donation. Okay. So if someone was about bluff that they want to give money, and if you want to make a donation, you move out to one place. If it's refused, you go to the other place and make it. So it's just bluff that people want to capitalize on. And we need to focus and look at the key issues. The executive committee is not involved in any corrupt practice. And what I can proudly state is that I'm happy that is reflected in the budget of the Football Association, all benefits that comes in and goes to members of the executive committee. And we continue to stand on those principles. So individuals who are out there, they're free to their opinions, but opinions are not facts. So if they have those facts, I'm again challenging them. Do not just sit around in corners and be talking, but be man enough to come up as a club president if you believe that we are corrupt. State it, bring your facts, okay? If you are wrong, you'll be penalized. If you are not wrong, we'll be penalized. Or you take those documents and write to FIFA.
Let's take the last two callers.
Why are they afraid to write to FIFA?
Let's take the last two callers. Good morning.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Oliver, and good morning to your many listeners.
You got to be audible, please.
You can hear me?
Yeah, let's hear you quickly.
This is Momo Johnson. I'm calling you from somewhere around Ghana.
Quickly, let's hear you. No time.
No. Let me say that. Let me salute the God sent LFA president ever in the history of Liberia. Okay. No, after comprehension is giving many of people problems. If you listen to the well-learned, well-articulated president of the LFA, no, let me say this. It's my government. This government is mine. I'm going to hold my government official accountable. I will speak to Edwin Murphy Snow. He is my senator from Bomi County. I will speak to Sir Joseph. He is a football owner. I will speak to each and every one of them. Honestly, it is infinite testimony. It cannot even run my club that I supported as a technical director. It cannot even run my club. Okay. So if you go to Nigeria, go back, listen.
Sorry, I'm actually out of time. Please, let me see if I can get Momo Blambo quickly. I say Momo Blambo, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you quickly.
Thank you. My name is Winston Dean, and I join you from Sinkom.
Let's hear you quickly.
Honestly, I call with deep disappointment and grief to listen to Mustafa Radi in studio. Proudly and boastfully saying nothing. Brother, this is an individual who has higher level of corruption challenges on him.
You say you should bring the proof.
Address any of them. This brother worked with Orange, and Orange has been the sole sponsor of our national leagues.
Okay, sorry, we have to end the call. We actually out of time, and then we will have to go. Let's hear quickly. Let's hear the parting comment because.
So, thank you, Koluba.
Sorry, really, man. Those of you following me on the social media, sorry, the line, the number there, I don't know why it's just.
Thank you, Koluba. And apparently, a lot of people are just misinformed, and it's unfortunate that those who are passing on information are giving those information to people who are not aware of football. Before taking over football, Celcom was a sponsor of the national team and sponsoring the National League. This company has remained the only sponsor. My works at Orange is completely different from football. They need to understand define conflict of interest. It's like with the stakeholders, and today is a challenge to all stakeholders. If they do not want the Orange sponsorship, let them come up and say they don't want the Orange sponsorship. There are companies who are here. We've been talking to. If they have not provided Orange stand to be the only company, I would like to say bravo and thanks to Orange for standing with the Football Association during the COVID, during all of the difficult times, and providing support to football in our country. This company, along with Petrotrade, they continue to support our football development program, and there's nothing else we can say but to tell them thank you. I can proudly state, Koluba, that we've just received, I can confirm that we received and we are disbursing the championship money for all of those who won the titles from Orange and Petrotrade. The first division is Watanga is going to receive 20,000. The check is at the LFA. The women's champion, the Determined Girl, $20,000 also at the LFA. Shatter FC, Blackman Warrior also have the $10,000 at the LFA, courtesy of Orange Liberia. On the part of the knockout Invisible 11 War Girls, Shatter Angels FC, Peaceville FC. Peaceville FC officials were at the LFA yesterday. Maybe you need to call them to determine whether they received the money or not. So if you talk about corruption, I am challenging. It's a challenge to those individuals that are out there. Do not just go in the corners of those little holes and come out. We want to smoke you out. Come out, come to the press, bring those documents. It's a challenge to each and every one of you. Do not just be talking. Today, I'm proud that the work we continue to do and the work we are doing has been identified and recognized by FIFA, and that's the reason why FIFA continue to provide support to Liberia. We will not deter. We will not give up. We will continue to fight in the interest of developing football and ensuring that football administration is transparent. Football will be lack of discrimination. Football will be lack of individuals who are involved in wire fraud and involved in duping people or scamming people around the world.
Mr. Raju, thank you ever so much. I have left with 8 more questions. We'll find another time where you get.
No problem. I'll be available anytime, Koluba, because this is what we are responsible to do, to serve football and serve our people, and we'll always be available to serve football.
Thank you, the LFA president, Mustafa Raji, with us here. And our sports listener of the week is senior player Ramsey G. Celebrates his birthday today. Happy birthday, comrade, senior player. Until next week, Monday. My name is Koluba, on behalf of the crew. Bye-bye.
Please let us